Hello and welcome to the New York Farm Bureau's weekly news bite, bringing you the latest news from the New York State agriculture world.
Hi, this is Steve Ammerman, Director of Communications for New York Farm Bureau. In this week's New York Farm Bureau News Bytes, take a quick look at the latest crop report for New York State. According to the USDA National Ag Statistics Service, there were 6 suitable days for fieldwork in the week ending July 10th. Topsoil moisture supplies were 14% very short, 43% short, 40% adequate, and 3% surplus. Crop conditions are also out. We are in cherry season in New York State, and 51% of the crop is rated fair, with an equal number of cherries rated poor or good. About 2/3 of the cherry crop has already been harvested statewide. More than half the corn crop is rated good to excellent, with the average height coming in at 41 inches. Soybeans doing well across the state too, with a major majority rated fair to excellent, 10% already in bloom. And there's a bulk of peaches, pears, and snap beans that are rated just fair, according to that NASS crop report. The rate of farm-related fatalities in New York State may gradually be decreasing, according to the New York Center for Agricultural Medicine and Health. The New York State Agriculture Fatality Report for 2019 to 2021 shows deaths in the state tied to agricultural work decreased in the last 3 years. There were 21 fatalities in 2019, 15 in 2020, and 7 in 2021, though NYCAM says over decades the numbers really do fluctuate. The report cites the top causes of farm-related deaths in that time included tractor rollovers. Rollovers have long been a leading cause of agricultural deaths. The report, however, notes a continued drop in frequency. The second leading cause is a person coming into contact with equipment or another farm object. And road-related incidents is the third leading cause. Collisions involving vehicles and tractors or other farm machinery on roads are nearly 5 times more deadly than non-ag-related crashes, according to the NYCAM study cited in the report. Now, NYCAM offers a variety of programs that promote ag workers' well-being. Trainings are available on a number of safety topics, including tractor and skid steer operations, animal handling, chainsaw use, and pesticide application. Personal protective equipment and power takeoff shields are also available for purchase. NYCAM also offers financial assistance to farms that are improving worker safety through its John May Farm Safety Fund and the National Rollover Protections Rebate Program, or the ROPS Rebate Program. Finally, in today's News Bites, Tin Barn Brewery, known for its Hudson Valley Brewery, has opened a new site in Yates County in the Finger Lakes. It purchased the former Starkey's Lookout Winery to expand its presence in central New York. There are now 3 downstate breweries that have opened in the Finger Lakes. New York Farm Bureau's County Manager Mark James spoke to the father-daughter duo behind the brewery, Dale and Lauren Van Pamelen. They have an interesting story. Dale was an entrepreneur in New York City, running some family businesses, including donut shops and a dog hotel. Lauren was an optician when the brewery bug bit her.
One day I bought a home brew kit home, and Dale was actually making fun of me because you can't make good beer in the kitchen. But I started with home brewing, and that first beer I made came out really well. The next 5 afterwards, maybe not as well, but that first one was really delicious. And I think home brewing is kind of a bug, because once you get into it and you start to learn the craft beer world, it kind of takes over as the only thing you want to do. So we started home brewing, and Dale started brewing with me more and more after he found out he could make good beer in the kitchen. And we started traveling around to all these breweries. And the more you travel, you meet all these interesting people and see these really unique spaces. And everybody in the craft beer industry is just the friendliest bunch of people I've ever met. So it's something that once you're in, you never want to leave. And Dale's always been an entrepreneur. So I think we sat around one day, had a few too many beers, and decided, you know what, we could do this. And we decided we were going to open a brewery. I went to the American Brewers Guild up in Vermont to learn some of the technical stuff. And then I volunteered in other breweries to learn the grunt work. And we just took it from there.
Lauren is the head brewer for Tin Barn, and she has some favorite varieties of beer that she likes to make.
I'm a very, very biased brewer in the fact that I brew what I like to drink. So I love New England IPAs, and I love fruited sours. Fruited sours are definitely where I get to play more, although I like playing with my hops and experimenting with everything that's new. But you'll see we release 2 to 3 new beers every week, and it's always rotating and it's always changing. And that's part of what I love about this kind of environment and structure is, well, I try to make better and better beer, and I can play and try out new ingredients, new methods, and new hops. There's all these new releases, and the craft beer customer loves that too. They always want to try what's new and what's freshest. It always tastes the best freshest, just like produce. So that's really what I like to play with. So we always feature for a majority these New England IPAs that pretty much all have Citra in it and are as juicy as can be, and these crazy fruited sours. And that's what I love to drink, and that's what I love to make. We do have easy drinking beer also. I finally made my first lager after a year, just because during the summer you need something a little more crushable than a crippled New England IPA, because that's what I love most. And during the winter, I will make a few more stouts. And I have one person who works in the brewery with me, our assistant brewer, Evan, has been with us since the beginning, and he's taken a barrel program. So I love what comes out of these barrels, too.
There's a big push in the state to get more New York-grown ingredients into New York craft beverages. This was helped along by a new hops breeding program at our land grant Cornell that New York Farm Bureau supported in order to get state funding.
So I'm very excited to see what they come up with and what they're able to grow or cultivate in that program. Because right now we use New York hops, but it's mostly, I feel like it's almost your New York basics. Like I order New York Cascade and things like that. Because our lager is all New York Pilsner grain also. So you have these New York ingredients and these hops, but I'm a Citra girl, so I can't get anything as juicy like that out of New York. So I'm very excited to see what Cornell comes up with.
There are now more than 500 breweries in this state. That's a 420% increase since 2012, making New York among the national leaders in craft breweries. Back in 2018, the New York State Craft Brewers Association estimated the industry had a $5.4 billion impact on the state economy. And Tin Barn sees a bright future, but just not sure yet what that's going to look like. After all, they just opened their new place in the Finger Lakes.
If you told me this is what we were doing in year 2, I would have laughed in your face. Yeah. So I don't really know what the future for Tin Barn holds yet, and I'm very excited to find out together. We definitely have some dreams and plans. I don't know which is reality or which is just a dream out there. But right now, we just expanded our capacity down to the Hudson Valley location and just try and brew enough beer to keep these places going and have fun while doing it. Mm-hmm. I do want to crank up my fruited sour production a little bit because right now it's maybe 4 IPAs to every 1 fruited sour, and I want to even that out a little bit. Mm-hmm. I'm also starting to pack some sour away into barrels. And I would like to get more wine barrels. I only have 2 wine barrels right now. But now that we're in the Finger Lakes region, I would like to try and source some of those locally to age sours in. But I'm not going to suddenly start making saisons or anything like that.
You can learn more about Tin Barn Brewery and the craft beverage industry by picking up the July edition of Grassroots, New York Farm Bureau's membership newspaper. It's our featured commodity of the month. Well, that will do it for this week's New York Farm Bureau News Bytes. If you've enjoyed this conversation and want to hear more podcasts from New York Farm Bureau, please take a moment to give us a rating wherever you downloaded this show. A good review helps us to rank higher and allows us to support today's agricultural needs by creating member opportunities for tomorrow through advocacy and education. Thanks for listening, and as always, remember to thank a farmer for all that they do.